Greetings, one and all. Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on this TAMA Starclassic Performer drum kit in this beautiful caramel aurora finish. Now, it could be caramel, it could be caramel, but however you say that word, what a gorgeous kit this is. I'm gonna start this video off a little bit different than I normally do. I'm gonna talk about the finish first, and then we're gonna get into all of the sounds of these drums, the construction, because they're a lot of fun to play and they sound great. Now, this finish is very unique and it's special to TAMA. I don't know all of the ins and outs of the secrets of how they make this happen, but what they do is they layer different paint on the drum shell, and then they have a process where they take off different layers to reveal the color underneath. And that's how you get this sort of look. And then it runs a little bit, and it's just this really cool thing. And every drum is totally unique because they can't really do this perfectly every time. It's all done by hand, so every drum is unique and really special. Then once they do that, they lacquer the drum with a really high gloss lacquer, and you get this amazing finish. This kit will look good anywhere you go. Perfect in a studio, in a house. I mean, it's gorgeous like furniture, right? But then you bring it out to a gig, put it on a stage with some bright lights, and boy, this drum cassette's gonna just stand out and look awesome to the audience that's watching you play. I'm sitting behind the 5-piece shell pack, and that consists of the 2 rack toms, 2 floor toms, and the kick drum. There's also a 4-piece shell pack with the kick drum, 2 rack toms, and the rack toms mount on the kick drum, a single floor tom, and then as you see here, I have a matching snare drum that is sold separately. This first rack tom is 10 by 7, second rack tom is 12 by 8, first floor tom is 14 by 12, second floor tom is 16 by 14, the kick drum is 22 by 16, and the matching snare I have here is 6.5 by 14. Now, this Starclassic Performer series has a hybrid shell of birch and maple. The rack toms and the floor toms are 6 plies thick. You have 4 plies of birch, and the 2 inner plies are the maple. So you get warmth from maple and the clarity of birch. That's why these toms really sing and project really nicely. The only difference with the kick drum is that it's 5 plies of birch and 2 plies of maple. Okay, all that being said, snare wires are off, and let's play these toms for you right now. Here we go. Really cool, nice musical tone intervals between each drum. It's easy to get them to pitch. The drums come outfitted with Evans G1 coated head, so a nice professional head right out of the box. Let's put the snare wires on and do the same thing. Here we go. Really cool sound, and I have these sort of tuned mid-level. I think you can go up a lot higher with these drums, and if you change the head combination, have a little dampening, do those sort of typical things to drums, you can get these drums a lot thuddier and a lot lower too. Okay, now onto this kick drum. Again, it's a 22 by 16, and it has an Evans EQ4 clear kick drum head. I'm using an old school Speed Cobra kick drum pedal here with the felt beater. Here we go. big, warm sound. Now there's a hole in the front head, and I have just a slight bit of dampening on the inside of the drum. A couple of pillows touching the batter and the resonant heads, just to dampen the drum a tiny bit. With the snare wires on, let's hear it again. Big and punchy. That birch in the shell really gives the drum a nice punchy sound. Since I have this snare drum here, it's not part of the shell pack, but it is a matching snare with this great finish. Let's play the snare too. So I'm gonna turn the snare wires off, turn them back on while I'm playing, and let's hear the snare drum. Here we go. Big sound, really sensitive too. When I was doing the buzz rolls, gets nice and quiet, feels good, responds back to my hands, the way I'm playing the drum in a nice way. And with the snare wires off, it has a nice musical tone as well. Cool, so let's put all the drums together right now, shall we? Woohoo! Like I mentioned earlier, these drums are a combination of birch and maple, and the edges on these drums are really great because they really let the head sit on perfectly and really sing when you hit the drums hard or soft. Now let's get into the hardware on these drums because the hardware adds to the sound of these beautiful drums. First thing I want to mention is die-cast hoops. You know, die-cast hoops are heavier than regular stamped aluminum or metal hoops, and they just let the drum sing a little bit more. And because the rims are a little bit heavier than normal stamped rims, the resonance is just bigger and more. It's a really nice feature on these Starclassic Performer drums. Another very high-end feature on these drums is the tom mounting system, the Starcast mounting system. It's really nice, very easy to change heads, and it really does let the drum hang freely. If you notice now, there's 3 rubber grommets around the rim that have nothing to do with any of the tension rods or lugs, okay? They're on their own, and that's how the drum holds onto the tom holder and then hangs and resonates. Again, a really cool, really high-end feature. Now, since this is the 5-piece shell pack and the toms do not mount on the kick drum itself, you get 2 TAMA fast clamps to mount the toms onto your cymbal stands. A really nice feature. You could set these up a different way. You could get a TAMA double tom holder and put the 2 toms over here to the left of the kick drum, or, you know, use your creativity. You don't have to have the drum set up in this fashion, but this is sort of the typical way to do it. Get really beautiful TAMA lugs on these drums, and I also want to mention the badge. I mean, it's a small thing, just a little visual feature, but I think it looks great on this caramel Aurora finish. It really stands out nicely. TAMA thinks of everything when they make their drums, so your drums stay put together well and safely and also look great. So the claw hooks on the hoop of the kick drum, they look great, recessed tension rods going into the claw hook, but the nice rubber lining. So that beautiful hoop is going to stay scratch-free as long as you take care of it. I figure while I'm sitting here talking about the hardware on all the other drums, let's talk about the throw-off and strainer on this snare drum. A really nice, very easy to use. Snare wires come on and off just like this. I can flick it with my finger. While I was playing the snare earlier, I don't know if you know, I was pulling back the snare wires and turning them on like with just a really quick little flick of my finger while I was playing. It's super simple, really easy. So nice design here. Tighten and loosen your snare wire tension right there. A simple butt plate design with straps holding on the wires instead of string. All in all, really nice, and you get these beautiful die-cast hoops on the snare drum as well. There you go, everybody. The TAMA Starclassic Performer Drum Kit in this beautiful caramel Aurora finish. Totally unique finish. Every drum is unique, and it's absolutely beautiful, and they sound great too. I want to encourage you to check out the text below the video here. There's going to be links for all of the other great gear I have. I always have some really great gear to play with these drum kits in the videos I do here for Sweetwater. So I have beautiful Mino cymbals, the pure alloys. They're great cymbals. I have microphones from Audio-Technica, DPA, Beyer Dynamic on the kick drum over there. I have an Apollo X8P behind me, Pro Tools, the Mac laptop, everything here, Vincent drumsticks and accessories, all kinds of great stuff. Check out the links below if you want to check out any of this gear. Also, don't forget that these drums come in 2 shell pack configurations, the 5-piece like I have it, and the 4-piece. You can also get the matching snare drum if you want. So if you want any more information about this TAMA product or any other TAMA product we have here at Sweetwater, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click right here for more videos just like this one, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music, instrument, and pro audio needs.